Hey everyone, I'm Mark Smelzer, the new Chief Content Executive at Jewelers Mutual Group, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the first ever Zing Zoom interview. You might know me from my 17 years at JCK Magazine. I recently joined Jewelers Mutual Group to create content here. Our first project was launching an extension of their successful Zing platform called the Zing Report. The Zing Report's tagline is about celebrating our industry. And under that Zing Report umbrella is an exciting new interview series called Zing Zoom. As we celebrate our industry, we're going to be talking about people, design, charity work, all the great things that make our industry as exciting and as fun as it is. And the Zing Zoom is meant to really put a spotlight on people in this business who have passion and drive and excitement and reflect the industry so well. So our first interview is with Jenny O Calleri from Huntington Jewelers in Las Vegas. And as you'll see in the interview ahead, she absolutely delivers on all fronts in terms of loving this business, having an exciting path in this business, and having an exciting outlook for the future of her store and of this business. So sit back and relax, and here comes Jenny O.
Everywhere we look, our world is changing faster than ever. But the change was always coming. While disruption is never easy, legacy is born from challenge, and hope flows from the connection with our customers, the strength of our communities, and the love of our family and friends. Jewelry is the thing that brings us all together, marking our milestones, lifting our hearts, and reminding us why we do this. 'Cause it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that zing.
That's why Jewelers Mutual launched the Zing platform, the easy-to-use, one-stop shop to navigate our changing industry. With fast and free access to best-in-breed services, solutions, industry tools, and information, the Zing platform is an all-in-one platform to connect, explore, and discover. For everyone in our industry, it's the jewelry marketplace for today and tomorrow.
And the Zing platform offers something for everyone. Transparent access to a world-class diamond marketplace. A simple step-by-step appraisal engine tapping Gem World's deep expertise, as well as a place to find fast, secure, and cost-effective shipping solutions. What's more, it makes completing everyday tasks easy.
When the world zags, we zing. At Jewelers Mutual, we've been doing this for over 100 years, and we're just getting started. Harness the power of the industry and unlock your potential. All you gotta do is zing.
And we're back with Jenny O Calleri from Huntington Jewelers.
Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. So happy to have you for this first Zing Zoom, Jenny. Truly, really, really happy. So glad you're here.
I'm delighted and humbled. Thank you so much for having me.
It is our pleasure and our honor. You and I have known each other for a long time. We've seen each other on many a show floor. We've had many a laugh together. We just had a great dinner together at Centurion.
Awesome.
So
after
much
all
fun.
these years, after all these decades of knowing each other, we just connected on a whole nother level at Centurion.
Exactly.
Love it.
It was a very fun night. And I posed the idea of you doing this for Zing Zoom then. So here it is coming to life. I said in the intro today that the audience has already seen that, one of the point of these is really to shine a light on personalities in our business, people doing great things, people I admire, people I know are a lot of fun, and people just who reflect this business so well. And I think you fit that to a T. I would love it if you could. I know we were chatting earlier, and we were talking about all the stops along the way to where you are now, and they're amazing. So I would love it if you could take 2 minutes to kind of give us the path that got you here.
Awesome. Well, I, unlike many in this industry, do not have any family in this business. I was literally going to community college, and I'm 19. and I'm working at a dry cleaner, and my friends, now it was like the best dry cleaner, of course, but my friends were like maitre d' at Spago. I'm from Vegas, bellman at MGM, valet at Mirage. And I'm like, my job is not cool. So I go home and I tell a good friend of mine, she's like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. She gets the phone book out, opens the phone book, and we just start flipping. And I'm like, oh, jewelry. I like jewelry. And she's like, oh, here, K Jewelers. I bought stuff from them before. She literally calls K Jewelers, sets up an interview for me, totally pretends to be me. I get the job. And so here my journey begins. I know absolutely zero. And if I can say anything about, the Sterling Group, it's that their structure and training was amazing. And that's kind of where I learned my basis. But, I didn't want to sell that level anymore. And also it was all about numbers when you move up in management. And I love being with the consumer. So then I moved to a super high-end store on the Vegas Strip called Simeoff. They're from San Francisco, and they're out of business now. But man, that is where I fell in love with gems and gemology. And my goodness, I mean, I'm talking like I'm 21. 26 karat diamonds, $150,000 Burmese rubies in each ear, cat's eye crystal barrel. What is that? And I said, you know what? I got to go to GIA. And so then I moved and I spent 2.5 years of my life at GIA.
Wow.
And it was probably one of the longest standing students there. I was the ambassador for the School of Business. I took every single course that they had because you know what? If I'm going to be in this business, I'm going to be the best I can be.
Awesome.
Came out, fell into the supplier side by accident, sold loose diamonds for a year, really got to learn about cut, got involved with AGS. Of course, I was involved in GIA alumni, and the Women's Jewelry Association was paramount to me getting to know everybody. And then I worked for Taché and Kendra, and it was just killer to travel and see all these retailers across the country. But you know what? I loved retail. I loved selling all aspects of jewelry and creating and designing. When I was a supplier, I was just selling, even though I had hundreds of SKUs and thousands of diamonds and styles, it was still just diamonds. And I missed the color. And so I got back into retail and I worked for MJ Christensen, and I opened a big, beautiful store here for about 5 years. And, as I'm growing, I wanted to always have my own store. And I mean, I wrote a whole business plan and when I was at GIA in the School of Business. And so I know that I was never going to, be able to take over that store. So then I moved to T-Bird Jewels and, he didn't have a successor. And so it was an amazing opportunity. But I'm growing and now having my family and, we get older and we want more, right? I don't just want to sell anymore, but I learned a ton from Daryl and it was awesome. Incredible experience he gave me. But I was ready to, start moving into some equity. And I had always known Richard Huntington. He's one of the best appraisers in our industry. And, for those who are watching will agree. And he was a mentor of mine and I've known him for about 15 years. His brother, Ron Huntington, was and still is one of the top hand engravers. And so throughout the decades of being in retail here in Vegas, like we would all still come here, use Ron Huntington to do our engravings. Doesn't matter what retailer you're with. And like I said, Rick appraising, he helped me. So I'd known him for a long time and I was just ready to go and he was ready to sell. And he still does all of our appraisals today. He works probably about 3 days a week. Ron Huntington still does all of our hand engraving again, part-time. So the business is mine and my husband's, but they just made it work and it was awesome. And now for the last 3.5 years, I have been reimagining Huntington Jewelers. It's been in Vegas for 70 years and was a major and still is a major namestay. I mean, MJ Christensen's been in Vegas for about 85. We're next in line at 70. It's really cool, especially when you see the JBT report come out of all these, long-standing retailers that are closing down. We saved a business. My husband and I, we love to say that we saved a business because you know what? if we would not have purchased this business, they would have closed.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of history in Vegas that still needs to stand up.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to be part of that.
That's awesome. I didn't realize it was 70 years. That is
70
awesome.
years. Yeah. And I'm born and raised here and been in it 20, so it's a perfect fit.
And so I know that I've watched you actually bring in social media and do all these innovative things and really sort of like make it next gen, make it 2.0, which is awesome. But I'm wondering, like, what's the thing you're most excited about right now? One thing that you can tell us about.
Well, it's perfect timing that you asked, because, I have to say, like, I do have an entrepreneurial spirit, right? I've always wanted more. And it's not necessarily stuff per se. It's just, growth. We want to move to that next level. Like I'm blessed to have a family with 3 beautiful children and a husband and a puppy and, and a business. And it's like, what's next? What am I going to leave to my kids? How are they going to get involved? Like, I have this thinking that's more of like 5 feet in front of me. And my husband is this, 5 miles in front of us,
Yeah.
And looking at the business, I've just really done what I've always done, which is, I'm a superstar saleswoman and I'm passionate about what I do. Yeah. I love what I do. I love creating, and people seek me out for that. And, where's the wood? Knock on the wood somewhere. Here's a wall. Maybe here's some wood.
I got some right here.
But, I've been successful at it. But I think that, we kind of fall into this like a hopium. Let's hope, I'm going to buy this piece of jewelry because I love it and hope that it sells. I'm going to, spend $20,000 on this magazine ad and hope that I get a sale from it. And that's not sustainable. You know what I mean? And so I am closing the store like in a couple weeks for 3 days. We hired an amazing company to help us strategize on our 5-year plan for accelerated growth. And then like, what happens after that? Do I want to like buy a piece of somebody's store in Jackson Hole, Wyoming and be like Jackson Hole Jenny O, and go there for the summer and, like still have a little piece of the action, but still come back here for the winter? Do I want to go, to another place in Idaho? I don't know. So anybody who's listening out there that, wants to think about where your next steps are, like, give me a call.
Kathy Calhoun did that, Kathy Calhoun did that from Rohrerstown, Pennsylvania to Carmel.
Love Kathy.
She's got 2 going. Yeah. Cool idea.
Because you know what? Like, and that's the thing is, part of why I was so involved in the Women's Jewelry Association for so long is because there were so many amazing women who like took me under their wing and connected me and introduced me and mentored me. And if I go to another place part-time, a quarter of the time, like I'm able to instill what I know and all my knowledge for those who want it. I have an amazing associate here, Lindy, who I am so blessed to have. And for the first time in my 3.5 years and probably almost in my career is somebody, a young person who like is hungry and really wants to learn and grow and excel and just has that drive and that tenacity. And, I feel like I have to give back. But you can't shout to the rooftops at everybody. It's only who wants it. Yes. So that's kind of something I'm super excited about, like next phases of the wonderful travels and worlds of Jenny O. Oh my God, here comes Alexia bringing treats. I'm on a diet. Just kidding. I have the show in 2 weeks. I'm cleansing for 10 days so I can lose 10 pounds before I see you guys.
I'm having broth every lunch. Okay, so we have like 2 minutes. Okay. Do you have any words of wisdom for this industry, for the watchers, for just in general? I'd love to hear.
Yeah. It's a great follow-up to what I just said, which is, the strategizing. As well as everybody, like we always need to keep sharpening our pencil. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you've kind of heard my journey and where I started and how I've learned, but you know what? It never stops. I'm looking right behind me. I have all my GIA books out here that have been literally like in a closet for about 15 years. And I brought him out last week, and my associates and we sat down for just 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, you take the ruby book, you take the sapphire book, I'll take the emerald book. Let's just start with the basics and, refresh, reignite, reimagine. You always have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations to learn more. And I mean, Shane Decker says it the best, like, you can't just use the clients as your practice. Like, you have to practice here. And if you want to sell more, if you want to grow more, if you want to excel to the next level, there's personal growth and development that you must do. I'm in a mastermind group that I meet with every month with other high-level executives, not in my industry, just other business owners. And we are unpacking different levels of stuff that goes on in our life. And so educate yourself, continue to get out of your comfort zone, find a place where you can disconnect. I go to the mountains and literally am forced to disconnect. And that is so important. There's 5 gears that we're in, and most of us never get into the first gear, which is complete disconnect. We're in social mode. We're in multitasking in a million different directions mode. We're focused for 2 hours on emails, but to truly disconnect is so important too. So that's my well-rounded words of wisdom. I hope that made it in 2 minutes.
Yes, no, I love it. I love it. You reminding me I'm just going to disconnect this weekend.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Important.
I'm so excited for you. I've always been such an admirer. And
Likewise.
This interview only illustrates that more. I know you're going to do amazing big things.
Thanks, Mark.
And I can't wait to see it happen. And I'm so happy that you're going to go down as the inaugural Zing Zoom interview. I couldn't imagine.
Listen, Jewelers Mutual is lucky to have you. And I love Jewelers Mutual too. I was so excited when you told me you joined the team. It's awesome. Thank you so much for letting me be your first.
My pleasure. And I will see you in Vegas in 2 weeks.
Yay! Come on, babe. I'll see you then. Thank you so much, Mark.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.